Are you visiting San Francisco? Hey guys, this is Kevin here, or the American Travel Geek, and today I'm going to be detailing one of my favorite neighborhoods in San Francisco, North Beach, and I'm going to take you through 7 places that I recommend you go see. Before I begin with the list, I'd just like to invite you to please hit the subscribe button below and the bell notification right beside it. That'll make sure you don't miss any of my future videos as they get released. So to start things off today in this list, I'd like to recommend that if you go to San Francisco at North Beach in the morning, you head to Caffe Trieste. Caffe Trieste is a historic coffee shop. It's been there for over 50 years, and they're well known for their espresso. And I personally get their cappuccino, which I think is the best cappuccino I've ever tasted. It's really, really good. And you can get different pastries there, and it has a really, really cool atmosphere. A lot of people come there to work on their different things, including a lot of famous artists, musicians, and a lot of celebrities have even came and visited Caffe Trieste over the years. A lot of The Godfather was actually written in Caffe Trieste. And it's just a really, really cool place to go. When you go, you'll see a bunch of old historic pictures. It really creates that Italian vibe. And for those reasons, I think Caffe Trieste is an excellent place that you guys should go visit to start your day off with a beautiful cup of coffee. Number 2 on my list is Washington Square Park. So it's actually a short walk from Caffe Trieste. And when you're in the park, which is one of my favorite places in San Francisco to relax, you can see St. Peter and Paul Church, a historic church. It's absolutely beautiful, and you can hear the bells going off every now and then from the church itself. And there's a lot of benches that you can sit on in the park. It's a very vibrant park. There's always people mingling around, doing all sorts of things. And it's a cool place to just take in the vibes that San Francisco has to offer. Number 3 on this list is to take in the absolutely phenomenal architecture. So there's 2 main buildings that you need to see when you're in North Beach walking down Columbus Avenue. The first of which is the Transamerica Pyramid, probably the most iconic building when you think of San Francisco. And Transamerica, the financial company, is no longer housed there. They're housed in Baltimore, but they are still affiliated with the building. And the building was once, I believe, the 7th tallest building in the world. I think this was in the 70s. And now, unfortunately, it's actually no longer the tallest building in San Francisco, as it was surpassed by the Salesforce Tower. But you should definitely check out the Transamerica Pyramid. And another building that kind of gets overlooked is the Columbus Tower, or the Sentinel Building. And that's the one where you see the green copper exterior, and it's absolutely beautiful. Personally, my favorite building in the city. Inside the Sentinel Building is where you'll find a film studio that's actually called American Zoetrope. And this is actually a studio that was founded by Star Wars creator, or co-founded by Star Wars creator George Lucas, and is still used today. And it has been a result of many different kinds of movies, including Dracula, some of the Godfather movies, and so that's pretty cool. And if you go below, you can see Caffe Zoetrope, which is also attached to the building, and it actually contains the first short story dispenser in the United States. So while you're waiting for your cup of coffee or whatever, you can press a button, and it feeds out a short story that you can read in like 1 or 3 minutes, so you don't have to worry about waiting in line and being bored. So if you've seen these 3 things, you've probably seen a lot of North Beach at this point, so it's probably time to get something to eat. Now, a really, really good place that I'd recommend to get a quick lunch, just something to grab a bite of, would be Golden Boy Pizza. And that's only a couple blocks away from Washington Square Park. And it's one of those places where you actually just go up to the window and you just tell them what kind of pizza you want. And then you actually go inside the place in order to pick up your pizza. Now, in terms of what kind of pizza you get, my recommendation would be to try the clam and garlic pizza. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's probably going to be the best slice you've ever had. At least that is the case for myself. But I think when I went there, I got a slice of pepperoni, a slice of clam and garlic. They have a few different options you can choose from. And I wouldn't recommend necessarily sitting inside, although they do, it does work as a bit of a restaurant. They do sell beer there and things like that. But usually the most convenient option would be to grab and go, and then you can take it over, walk over to Washington Square Park or a nearby seating area, and you can eat your pizza there. But number 4 on the list is Golden Boy Pizza. If you're enjoying this video so far and it's been very helpful and informative, please go into the comment section below and write North Beach. Alright, so at this point, you've just eaten, you probably need to work off some calories. So I'm going to send you up a hill in order to check out the famous Coit Tower. And Coit Tower is another one of those buildings where you look at a San Francisco skyline in a postcard or whatever, and this is one of the buildings that you're going to see and is most commonly associated with San Francisco. So it does take a bit of a climb to get there. If you're walking up Filbert Street, you do have to go up a very slanty hill, but I'm sure if you're in San Francisco, you're probably used to that by now. So then once you get to the top, you'll actually reach a point where you walk up some steps, and then the tower's right in front of you, and they have a bunch of those metal viewing stations where you can pop in a quarter and you can get a nice vantage point of different areas in San Francisco. I don't think this is anywhere close to the best viewing area or vantage point in San Francisco. There's other places you can go to get a great vantage point of the city. However, you do have the ability to see over the ocean where Alcatraz Island is and Golden Gate Bridge, and you can also see west on the other side of San Francisco and up and down the hills. So you do get a few vantage points there, and it's still a cool place to get a good view. So, and of course you can actually pay some admission to go up the tower, which I have not done, but if you do want to actually check out the historic building, I would recommend going to do that. Now once you're at the top of Telegraph Hill, where the Coit Tower is, you'll have direct access to the Greenwich Steps, and that brings me to number 5 on the list. I believe it's number 5. So the Greenwich Steps are a very tiring, but also very beautiful way to get great views of the bay. So out towards the Bay Bridge, and you can even see across the bay to the east side, which is Oakland. So I believe there's about 400 steps, so make sure you're wearing proper footwear. Some of the steps are actually kind of steep, so make sure you're watching where you're going and you're holding onto the railing, but the descend down, the steps will actually take you all the way from the top of the Telegraph Hill all the way down to the Embarcadero, which is the street that's right beside the water, which is really, really cool. It takes a decent amount of time to get down. I'd say about 20 minutes or so to half an hour, walking at a slower pace, and the nature you're going to experience while going down these steps is really, really scenic and really beautiful. You'll get access to a lot of cool California-style vegetation and plants and flowers, and all the vegetation that's been planted in that area is absolutely stunning. You may even run into some feral parrots, which is a type of parrot that has all of a sudden decided to inhabit downtown San Francisco, at least in this particular area. So if you're able to spot a feral parrot, be sure to take a picture of it. And you'll also find a lot of beautiful homes that are kind of lined along the Greenwich Steps. A lot of people own very, very expensive property right on the Greenwich Steps, and their backyards actually back onto the steps. But the steps themselves are publicly accessible, and it's a really cool place. And once you kind of get halfway down, you'll get a beautiful vantage point of the bay with the Bay Bridge. I'd actually recommend that you head down here at twilight when you know, you get the beautiful twilight view over the ocean. And if you're there at night, which I haven't had the opportunity to experience, but the Bay Bridge actually lights up in beautiful colors, or beautiful lighting streaks, and there's a bit of a show or syncing of the lighting that happens there as well. So you get a beautiful view that you can take a picture of, and if you're feeling very ambitious, then you can obviously walk all the way down to the Embarcadero, and I've done it, and it is not too bad. Although I did actually buy a pair of shoes that were new, and I ended up coming out with really bad blisters on the back. So as long as you wear running shoes, you should be okay. So this brings me to the final suggestion for you guys, and that is to make sure you don't leave North Beach without checking out the nightlife. I was in North Beach on a Friday night, I think on both occasions, and on both occasions it was super vibrant. Anywhere between Vallejo Street down to Washington Street, you're in an area where North Beach, or Little Italy as some people like to call it, intersects with Chinatown, and there's so many cool bars and different eateries that are open late, and you have access to those to make sure you have a really good night. And a lot of them in the summer obviously have patios, and the music kind of flows out of the restaurant, and it's just so vibrant and so cool. And when I was in San Francisco for the first time, I met up with my friend Alex, who actually showed me around, and he took me to a couple really cool places. One was the Beer Pong Lounge, which is located just on the edge of North Beach at the end. And this is a place that would appeal, I guess, for, you know, younger 20s crowds. If you're 21 and over, you can go and actually sign up to be part of a team and compete in a beer pong tournament inside this bar, which I thought was really cool. We don't have something like that back where I come from. And afterwards, he actually took me to a really interesting dive bar in Chinatown called Lipo, which is known for their famous Chinese Mai Tais, which are incredibly strong. Of course, if you have one of those, you have to be ready for what's coming. So the nightlife is really awesome, really vibrant, and you should definitely go and experience it. So to wrap things up, I hope this video really helped you out, and if you're visiting San Francisco, I hope this got you very excited to venture into North Beach. Of course, going to San Francisco, there's going to be the more popular, let's say, areas to go, like Fisherman's Wharf, or maybe experiencing Golden Gate Bridge. But definitely don't overlook neighborhoods like North Beach that have so much to offer and are actually just really vibrant cities or very vibrant neighborhoods with great food and great cafes and great places to go out and drink at night. So definitely, if you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you did not enjoy it, please dislike it. Just any feedback is really appreciated. And also, I invite you guys to, again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to be pumping out a lot of content as we just got this channel up and running. And also, I'd like to invite you guys to head over to www.americantravelgeek.com. Check out my blog, where I'm going to be writing a lot of information to go along with these videos and pumping out a lot of different content. Easy to follow travel advice for a bunch of American destinations, food and drink, attractions, tips, and essentials. So that's going to wrap things up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, enjoy your travels.